Mrs. Borden work at the rectory as the cook. I know she did the laundry, count money, do the secretarial work, quite a few things. I would come over and do the bulletin. And we didn't have a computer, you just typed it on an old typewriter. And then we had to run copies. We got a Gestetner machine. We had to add ink to it. I do remember spilling some of it, and that is dark black, indelible ink. And I guess some landed on the floor. The cat came down, walked through it, and walked through the house, up the stairs. You could see all the little paw prints, the little black prints. Oh, what a mess that. I'll never forget that Gestetner machine. So that was the way we ran off our bulletin.
Father Cahill had taken his staff with him. Father Jim asked for some volunteers, and he got a good bunch. And then in the September he said, he must have asked everybody, are you going to come back? And it turned out only Pat Waddell and Mary Moore and I came back. And the three of us worked ourselves into it. It became a job. When I was answering the phones, the phone hardly rang. Not like now. And I said, well, do you have anything for me to type? So he started giving me the baptism and the wedding forms and whatever to type. And I used this old typewriter on an old typewriter table that I had to prop up with my knees. Yeah, and it was fun working at Pascal Street. It's definitely different. Mary Moore left first, then Pat went, and that was in '89. We left Pascal Street and came up here.
When she moved, Johanna Buchangello who took over it, and so that they shared that work, and they were the ones who were in charge of the office downstairs, and they were great at receiving people, great at in terms of the way in which they approached people who would come to the rectory, and they had a good spirit.
The parish operated completely different because it was smaller. Things were simpler, we worked hard, we did not have a lot to work with. We didn't have a Beckett pantry, we answered the door, we gave food bags out. If you recall all the coffee mornings after Mass, the people would drop in. It wasn't strictly an office, it was
a community.
It was a community,
center,
and we did the work, mind you, but they cried on us and they laughed with us.
Oh, the staff at that time included basically Bernie Leving, who was a very solid and very able person who helps to keep things going here. Good at doing the work around the place and fixing things and repairing things and constructing things, but also very good at working with people in the different groups he had to deal with. And prior to him, but still at the same time, was Lloyd Howell. Lloyd was one of the ones who was involved in the committee that originally built the church.
And I must say we've always had wonderful staff. The parish secretaries have been heroic in this parish. They put up with the same things the priests have put up with. The maintenance crew, Bernie Leving and Dennis Doyle at the time was part-time, and now Stephen Ellis. Pat Fahey was the original secretary with Johanna Buchangello, who's still here. Who was succeeded by Heather Pereira for a while when Pat Fahey left, and Heather was succeeded by Heidi Thibodeau. And in 2002 we hired Elizabeth Barroso as bookkeeper. Wonderful ladies, wonderful ladies. We were going full-time into Faith First, and we hired a lady, Samia, as Director of Religious Education, and she carried the ball for a few months. And of course, Christine Gumbar as DRE. We hired Heather Aldridge at her recommendation to assist her, and she left, and her team has been replaced by Kathy McCauley and Elsa Rivera, wonderful ladies again. And of course, we had a wonderful cook. So men are very happy when they eat well.
Bill Kelly offered his services at a pivotal time in the 12 years that I spent at Beckett. So he got his first appointment as administrative assistant October 2002. For some months in the bulletin, I put an ad asking for a parishioner who would be willing to offer voluntarily to become an administrative assistant and help me with the brickwork in particular, but also to become a member of the team. Bill was an ideal candidate, to do this kind of thing. Someone who has business experience and very strong faith and loves the parish and the church. exactly the man I'm looking for, a godsend.
And while I was away, Father Tom started the staff meeting on Wednesdays. And there's a terrific synergy there when the people come together. They care so much about God and the church and the people. And there's so much creativity of ideas. It's just a privilege to be part of it. So, I mean, this parish has been so blessed with wonderful staff.